There is a very specific kind of exhaustion. It is quiet. It settles over you heavily. You stand in the center of your own home and look around, realizing you have absolutely no idea where to put anything anymore. The pile of clothes on the chair stopped being laundry months ago. Now it's just part of the room. The unopened mail keeps stacking higher. Random objects slowly migrate to the corners of your desk, like your brain is trying to hide them from itself. Shoes sit abandoned halfway down the hallway. And somewhere deep down, a painful thought starts whispering, "Why can't I just clean like a normal person?" People call it laziness. They call it lack of discipline. But psychology tells a very different story. Because most of the time, a messy room is not a sign that someone doesn't care. It's a sign that their mind is carrying more than it can process. Living in clutter doesn't feel good. The person inside the mess usually hates it more than anyone else. Research shows clutter increases stress, raises cortisol levels, reduces focus, and quietly drains emotional energy. Your nervous system never fully relaxes. Even when you're sitting still, your brain keeps scanning the environment, registering unfinished tasks everywhere. Every pile becomes visual noise. Every object becomes another reminder of something you haven't dealt with yet. And eventually, your brain stops seeing the room as a home. It starts seeing it as pressure. For many people, this paralysis comes from something called executive dysfunction. Executive functions are the mental skills that help you start tasks, organize actions, prioritize decisions, and finish what you begin. When those systems become overloaded, simple things stop feeling simple. You pick up a shirt to put it away. Then you notice a book on the floor. You carry the book to another room. Then you see a dirty cup. Now you're standing in the kitchen holding socks while wondering what you were doing 5 minutes ago. Your brain keeps switching channels. Nothing gets completed. Not because you're lazy, because your mind is exhausted. This is especially common in people with ADHD. When every object demands attention at the same intensity, the brain struggles to prioritize. Everything feels equally urgent. So instead of choosing, the brain freezes. Then there's depression. And depression changes everything. People often imagine depression as sadness, but sometimes depression feels more like gravity. Heavy, slow, numb. Even tiny tasks start feeling physically painful. Washing one dish feels impossible. Folding one towel feels overwhelming. Opening a single letter feels like too much. And the cruel part is that the mess often makes depression worse. You look around the room and feel like you're failing at life. The environment becomes physical proof of how empty and overwhelmed you feel inside. Then comes another hidden reason people avoid cleaning: decision fatigue. Every item in your room asks your brain a question. Do I keep this? Where does it go? What if I need it later? What if throwing it away is a mistake? A messy room is often just a collection of postponed decisions. And when your brain is already tired, even tiny decisions feel unbearable. So you put things down for later, and later slowly becomes months. This is also why shame rarely helps. Nagging someone to clean usually makes the paralysis worse, because when people feel controlled or judged, their brain naturally resists. Psychologists call this psychological reactance. The more pressure someone feels, the more emotionally impossible the task can become. But here's something important. A messy room does not mean you are broken. Sometimes it means your nervous system has been in survival mode for too long. Sometimes it means your emotional energy is completely depleted. Sometimes it means your brain has been carrying invisible battles nobody else can see. And strangely enough, cleaning itself can become part of healing. Studies show that tidying physical space can reduce anxiety and restore a sense of emotional control. Not because a clean room magically fixes your life, but because small acts of order remind your brain that things are manageable again, that you are capable again, that chaos is not permanent. So if your room is messy right now, don't start with shame. Start with compassion. You do not need to clean your entire life in one night. Just make one small decision. Throw away one piece of trash. Fold one shirt. Clear one corner of your desk. Tiny actions matter because exhausted brains heal through small victories, not violent self-criticism. And maybe most importantly, forgive yourself for the mess. It was never proof that you were lazy. Sometimes it was proof that you were surviving. And surviving takes more energy than most people realize.